Shoshana Frank, a librarian at the Naperville Public Library. Thank you for joining me for this dynamite presentation to learn how to create your very own Dino Terrarium with these guys. I hope you are all ready for some prehistoric jokes. You'll have to let me know if I should have left them fossilized. In the take-home kit, you will find brief instructions, a glass mason jar, a package of pebbles, moss, and soil, and at least 2 dinos. From home, you may also need a spoon to make this a little easier. Before we begin, a quick question. How can you best raise a baby dinosaur? With a crane! Now that we are all in a humorous mood, let's get started by opening the mason jar and setting aside the lid. As we begin to add layers to the jar, keep in mind how high you want your dinos to be. If you want clear glass above the dinos, add fewer ingredients. If you want the dinos all the way at the top, be sure to add more. You can truly play it by ear and decide, and always have the option to decide later. So the next 2 steps can be done in either order. It is completely up to your preference. So add a thin layer of pebbles to the bottom of the jar. I'm going to use the spoon to make it a little easier. You can choose if you would like to save some pebbles for another layer above the soil. Again, it's totally up to you. Next, add a layer of soil. It's okay if the soil and pebbles mix together. No perfectly straight lines are needed. While you're working, what does the Brontosaurus like to play with humans? Squash! It's okay if this part gets a little messy. You can see I dropped some of the soil. And I'm going to kind of shake my pebbles together with the soil so I can see more of them. And this part you really want to do to how you want it to look. So once you're satisfied with your pebble soil mixture, you can add moss. I am adding only a few pieces of moss because I want to see my dinos and make sure they have room to roam. And now, for all those Star Trek fans, what's better than a talking Volcodon? A spelling bee! Next, we want to place our dinos in their new home. And voila! You're finished. So, how did the caveman survive the asteroid that killed all the dinos? With social distancing! They stayed 65 million years apart. Just a little pandemic and dino humor. Now be sure to lightly mist your terrarium once a week to keep all the ingredients happy and healthy. I'm going to keep my terrarium lid off to better enjoy the romping dinos, but feel free to put the lid back on if you desire. I'm sure your terrarium will be a perfect addition to the home or office. But before we depart, what is a dinosaur's least favorite reindeer? Comment! Thank you so much for joining me for DIY Dino Terrariums. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Have a great day!